How's it going?
Doing? It's going very well, Justin. Now, last time we chatted was in Austin.
That's
Uh,
right.
you had only had the pilot episode under your belt. So, at this point, what has surprised you the most about the direction your character has taken? And what do you think has satisfied you the most?
Ooh, those are great questions, Joe. Um, what has satisfied me the most is that we're actually, and this week is a good one, we're actually getting to see Calian's backstory and kind of why he became the way he is and became the person we see him as in the pilot and through episodes 1 through 5 and 6 as well. It's, you know, coming into this, I think I expressed to you before, I was nervous that we weren't going to really see a well-developed native character. That was always my hesitation for playing a period piece. And so coming in, that was my biggest fear. And yeah, that's what's been most satisfying, is just getting to see him as a dimensional character and getting to see what he feels and what he thinks, you know. And this week's a great one because we get to see how he kind of came to be the Calian we know. What has surprised me the most might be the same answer because, like I said, it was my biggest fear coming in. I think how much fun it was to play with the Hoyt character and kind of have this back and forth. You know, we're two very much cut from the same cloth in a way, Matt Barr and I, as people, and the characters, you know, there's this back and forth with them and kind of, you're not quite sure if they're friends yet or if they're enemies, and there's this middle ground, and it's just been so much fun to play that, and I think that was the most surprising coming in. I think I may have underestimated how great that would have been, and yeah, I've been really grateful that we had those moments.
Now, whenever you get a new script, do you like automatically turn to the last page? Good, they're not going to kill me off in this episode, are they?
You know, I don't do that. You know, my wife, she always reads the last page of a book when she buys one, and I never understood why she would do that. And for me, no, I like to go through. I like to read the story how it's coming out to me, you know, and I like to take it in and really be part of the audience for that first read. You know, I would. You know, I don't think that was a fear in my head that would happen, but maybe I'll start checking just in case. Now that you bring it up, I don't know. I hope that's not on the table.
Well, doing period pieces, I often ask actors, I mean, what was it like to train to be comfortable on a horse? What was it like to train to be comfortable using a 6-shooter or a shotgun or a rifle? But I have to ask, are you really that good with a bow and arrow?
No, I'm not. I wish I could say yes. I'm not. They make me look very good on the show, and I love movie magic for that. But I did, as soon as I got to Santa Fe, I found somebody who teaches archery. So I called them. I was like, hey, I need to learn just like the basics. I need to know what it's like to hold a bow, to shoot an arrow. I knew I wouldn't have the time to become that skilled at it. As skilled as Calian would be and should be, but I definitely just at least wanted to be able to move comfortably with it in my hand, feel okay, you know, with the movements. Again, we can't really, we're not firing live arrows on set. You know, it's very dangerous. You know, these arrows, they're no joke, as people know. You know, you can hunt with these. They're very dangerous weapons. So we take it very seriously. But I definitely wanted to feel comfortable with it. I wanted it to be believable, and that was a big thing coming in. So I did my own lessons for a few weeks before we started shooting, and I will tell you, it's a lot harder than it looks. And and my hat's off to those people who are amazing, you know, amazing archers. And I look forward to doing it more, though. It's definitely something I think I would do in my normal life. It's a lot of fun. I told my daughter this morning, like, hey, when we get back home, I think I'm gonna get a target and we'll start shooting bows.
But you're not ready yet to try to like shoot an apple off your head or anything like that.
No William Tell stuff for me, man.
Hey. Well, now you mentioned your daughter. You know, looks like you're getting that next generation going. I mean, she plays your sister in the flashbacks. in
Yeah.
the mid-season finale. How did it work out? I mean, did you propose her for the part, or?
Actually really interesting. My wife read the script before I did. She reads all the scripts as they come to me, and she loves it. And she's like, "Hey, did you read it yet?" I'm like, "No, I haven't read it. I'm gonna read it this afternoon." I read it, and as soon as I finished, she's like, "So what do you think? Do you think Olivia could play that part?" I'm like, it didn't even cross my mind when I read the part that my daughter would play. It wasn't even on my radar. But my wife definitely, she was like, "What do you think?" I was like, "No, I don't know." She's like, "Maybe they wrote it for her." I'm like, "No, I don't think they wrote it for her." And then I ran into Larry Tang like later that day, and he's like, "So what do you think about Olivia maybe playing this part?" And I was like, "Are you serious?" And I was like, "Okay, let me ask her." So I asked my daughter, she's 8, and I'm like, "Hey, there's this part in the script. It's an 8-year-old girl, and it's a short scene, but it's with Calian. Would you want to audition for this part?" And she's like, "Let me think about it." And I was like, "Okay, go ahead and think about it." A couple of days passed, and I check in with her. I'm like, "Hey, so do you think you want to read?" And she's like, "Okay, sure, I'll do it." So we had her audition. She did an audition tape. We sent it in, and yeah, she had to go through the whole process, but they liked her, and it made sense. It was a scene directly with me when it first started. I think the first one was in episode 3, when we first see her, and this is like the safest environment I could think of for like a child actor to kind of come in. She knows all these people. It's like family. And yeah, so they made her feel very comfortable on set, and she did a great job. I was so proud of her. But that being said, when I read it and we had talked about it, my wheels started turning, and I actually pitched to the showrunner. I said, "Hey, what if this little girl he encounters is more than she seems? What if she's maybe a spirit or something that only Calian could experience and only Calian could see?" And he's like, "All right, let me think on it." And about a couple of days before we started filming episode 3 with that part with Olivia, he says, "Hey, we're gonna run with that idea." And they ended up creating something really beautiful and really great with a backstory. And it's heartbreaking, but it's powerful. And yeah, so I was really, really grateful that they decided to do that, because where it ended up going for Calian's backstory is just, like I said, it is so meaningful and powerful. I feel grateful that they did that.
What are some of the things that you've done so far that you're most proud of? I mean, individual scenes or dialogues in episodes so far, and when the camera stopped, you went, "Hey, hey, that's pretty good."
So, that's a great question, man. I truly just take in every moment and try to make the most out of every moment that I get on camera. And working with Philly is one of my favorite things, because when he and I work together, each take is so different. It's like we're constantly finding new things in there, and he's just such a great actor to work off. And the backstory for our characters is really meaningful to us. So it's something that we take a lot of pride in, and I think that's always my most fun. Like, always the most, when I come home and talk about it with my wife, those are the ones that I really feel really great about in terms of those scenes, because they're usually really meaningful scenes, because we have such shared history as characters, and we're also two of the minority characters in the show, for lack of better terms. So that being said, the way we kind of sit in this world is a bit different than the way Abby or Hoyt sit in this world, or Kate. So we're always kind of trying to find the truth in those moments, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think when we get done with those scenes, as small as they might be, sometimes they're just a couple of lines, but we're always just trying to find all the truth in there. And then when we get done, I'm like, yeah, that was great. I really love that. So
How important is it as an actor and as a model to be in shape? I mean, seriously, how many hours a day do you have to devote? I mean, it's like anything else. We were talking before about how to shoot an arrow, how to shoot a gun, how to ride a horse. Well, you've got to look buff. How much time do you have to devote to that?
You know, it's funny. I was actually just having this conversation with somebody the other day. Yeah, I think it is. It's an essential part of the job in a way. You know, especially for the type of characters that maybe come your way, and the type of characters that come my way. It is definitely part of my job to make sure I'm staying in shape. But on top of that, mentally, I just need it. You know, it's something that kind of allows me to de-stress or clear my head. It's a good way to go get out some of that pent up energy that you might carry from work, or even when you're not working, you know, from auditioning a lot. It's like it's a bit of an escape in a way. But it's something that is important to me personally, that it just works, you know. And I think for some people it might come a little more challenging. And there are definitely days. Yesterday was one of those days I didn't want to go into the gym, and I think I was walking through my hallway. I was like, I don't want to go to the gym today. And my daughter's like, then don't. And I was like, oh, I should just listen to her, you know. But like I said, sometimes it's just really important on not just physical, but the mental. And you know, I'm very grateful that my body is in a place where I could exercise and not have a lot of pain, and I haven't had a lot of injuries. So, but also it keeps me from getting injured. So there's a lot of different factors that come into it. But I'm very happy that you know, I'm able to use my body in that way. And the pictures, I don't know about that stuff, man. Those come up. You're embarrassing me with that. But yeah, I'm thankful that I'm able to stay in shape and that I have the time to devote to it. So.
Well, I hope you stay in shape, and I hope you know, your character stays in shape for the second half of this season, and we'll be seeing more adventures.
Yeah, yes, lots more, hopefully.